Francis, and welcome back to Sales Code. What I want to do is in the next 9 or 10 minutes or so give you a tool that you can use to actually literally double your results in the next 30 days. And it's a tool of understanding about the 4 personality styles and how to sell to them effectively. If you understand the 4 personality styles, what their number one motivation is, what objections they normally come up with, you can deal with them effectively and deal with them in a timely manner and get to the sale very quickly. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to kind of draw 2 lines on a piece of paper, a blank piece of paper, and take notes as I go through this. And specifically what I want you to do is to draw a straight line down the center. And when you draw that straight line down the center, at the top of that line I want you to write internal. At the bottom of that line I want you to write the word external. In addition to which we want to have a horizontal line as well. And that horizontal line should say slow-paced on the left side and fast-paced on the right side. Now, basically there's 4 types of people, and the 4 types of people in the world have 4 characteristics, that 4 major values, and if we follow those values, we'll know exactly how to motivate them. So the first grouping I'm going to call the red grouping, and that's really a heart or a diamond. You'll notice that the color is red, which means that they show a lot of emotion. So in that bottom left-hand corner, I want you to draw a heart. In the bottom right-hand corner, I want you to draw a diamond. And remember that these types of folks, what stimulates them in a lot of cases is the emotion, the juice, the excitement, the fun. They're pretty passionate about things in life, whether that's themselves or the products or whatever they might be. The people that are on the top, they're pretty much black and white. What I mean by that is that they're very controlled, and they really have an internal frame of reference, not an external frame of reference. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. So what you should end up with is a chart that looks like something like this on the screen. You're going to end up with a spade personality to the top right, a club personality to the top left, a heart personality bottom left, and a diamond personality to the bottom right. So I'm going to take each one of these and then kind of go through some of their characteristics. And as we go through some of their characteristics, realize what their number one value is and how to sell to them more effectively. Let's start with that spade personality. First of all, they have an internal reference point, meaning they're very controlled, they show a lot of control, they don't show much emotion, and their reference points is really internal. So what's important to them is their opinion, not other people's opinion, but their opinion. They're also extremely fast-paced. They love to make decisions quickly, get to the bottom line quickly. They move very quickly. They're quick to make decisions. They're often called the driver type of personality, the person who wants to get to success. And you take a look at some of the characteristics for those. They're fast-paced, quick to make decisions, control, bottom-line driven. They don't really have time for relationships. They see time as being a commodity. It's extremely valuable. They hate people wasting their time. They love to achieve, succeed. And if you're talking to that individual, you have to realize that the best thing you can do is to give them options and choices and talk about the result, the end outcome, not necessarily the process, but the end outcome. The number one motivation for this type of individual is they see life as a game and they must win. There's 2 parts to winning. There's winning and losing. And in fact, Briggs-Myers did some testing a while ago that said we would do much more to not to lose than to win. In fact, they kind of broke down the population to be about 68% negative and 32% positive, which means not only do we need to point out how they're going to win in the transaction, but we also have to point out, what they may lose. Now, if I'm talking to this individual in terms of trying to negotiate a real estate deal or to get them to buy my product, I'm going to point out, what they're going to lose if they don't take action, whether that's, their financial freedom or whether that's the money that they're going to lose. And I'm also going to point out to them what they'll win if they do the transaction at the same time. The next group of individual, a little more slow-paced, a little more methodical, the club personality. And when you think about the club, there's 3 parts to that, and I want you to keep that in mind. They're very controlled, very internal reference, but they're very methodical, and they often need multiple reference points or multiple proof to validate a position. They're very slow-paced, very methodical. They definitely want to be correct in the process. They need a lot of data, a lot of statistics. They're controlling. They like numbers. This person will take his time or their time to make sure that they're accurate, make the right decision. So you've got to realize that the main driver for this individual is that they have a sincere desire to be right. They have to be right and they can't be wrong. So obviously we can use that, in terms of our motivation and with respect to selling them or influencing them. If we can show that our contract is the right contract,
or our numbers are the right numbers through third-party endorsements and trends and analysis. In real estate, maybe it's a comparable analysis. We can show them that their numbers might be wrong through an inspection report or a testimonial or something like that. Then we go a long way to motivating this individual into our direction. The third type of individual is a heart personality, and they're very slow-paced, have an external reference point. They tend to show a lot of emotion. Their characteristics are very slow-paced. They want to make friends. They'll spend time with you. They like taking the time. They love to build their relationship. They're very emotional and very feeling-oriented. So anytime you can tap their emotions or their feelings, that's a good thing. In fact, they'll go out of their way to help you if they like you. So you want to spend that extra time working with that individual and building the relationship. They love social proof. They love guarantees, so you can guarantee so they don't make the wrong decision. And they're kind of slow to make decisions. They really need to be pressured or pushed a little bit. In fact, quite often with this type of personality, you have to tell them to make the decision. So either you're telling them or their spouse is telling them to move ahead, but they need that external reference points to kind of push them or force them or give that sense of urgency for them to take action. They're made your pieces to be loved and not be hated. So what works really well with them is coaching, making sure that you support them, strong supports, testimonials, a lot of social proof in terms of who's done it. Those kinds of references will help you a great deal with these types of individuals. The fourth type of individual is what I call a diamond personality, and a diamond personality is a little bit of a showboat. They're very fast-paced, a lot of external references. Their characteristics that are very fast-paced, quick to make decisions. They enjoy the process. They show a lot of emotion. They like adventure, the fun. They love the recognition in the game. They enjoy incentives. They really buy into the vision. So with them, you really have to paint the picture, of where you're going. A good example is if I'm trying to sell a tax product to a diamond type of personality. Excuse me. What I want to do is paint the vision of what they're going to do with the money or what they're going to do once the process is ended. So rather than talking about, hey, listen, there's 44 tax strategies, you're going to save money, what I'm going to talk about is, hey, listen, when you save that money, what are you going to do? Are you going to go to take a vacation? Maybe you're going to go to Hawaii, and when you're standing on the black beaches in Hawaii looking at a sunset, maybe you're doing that with someone special, and maybe you have a glass of champagne, and you never know where that may lead. That kind of vision, that kind of picture, that kind of emotion is going to tap that person more than, hey, listen, here's 44 strategies for you to save money. So their piece is to have fun. They like to have fun, and they want to make sure that they stay away from apathy. So that's a kind of quick thing with respect to these. With respect to selling them directly or influencing them directly, obviously we want to learn techniques or strategies, whether that's language patterns or closing patterns, to deal with them effectively. In fact, each one of these has a primary objection. And in fact, if we can deal with their primary objection, we can also go a long way to closing the sale. We don't have enough time to cover that in this session, but it's something we do want to make sure we put as part of our game plan moving forward.